Curaçao, Wegenbouw Maatschappij, EcoPower International, Dierens Netherlands, Civil Engineering Caribbean, and DevCo Sweden have set up a cooperation to develop the Zakito District Cooling System. For engineering activities, parties will also work with local and international expert engineering, construction, and consultancy companies with specific know-how. Like Mackay Ocean Engineering, for the development of this project, a company named Zakito District Cooling has been established. Together, this joint venture has an extensive track record with global experience in the development of large-scale district cooling, energy, infrastructure, and deep seawater pipeline projects, which includes all the seawater district cooling on Curaçao. Developing district cooling in large cities like Copenhagen, Stockholm, and Toronto, along with specific projects at Cornell University, Bora Bora, Abu Dhabi Airport, the NATO headquarters in Brussels, and the Curaçao Airport, also other projects in the Caribbean, like the wind diesel system on Bonaire, conventional power and desalination plants on Curaçao, onshore and nearshore civil activities for projects like the new hospital for Curaçao, Megapier 2, Koiman Megastore, Fisherman's Wharf Maripompon, sewage infrastructure for Punda, Terracotta Wind Farm, Klein Curaçao Pier, the Curaçao Airport, the technical installations for several resorts and hospitals, and deep seawater pipelines like in Hawaii, Bora Bora, and India. Zakito District Cooling believes that growing with global and local partners is the most effective way forward. We will therefore work with local companies and expertise where each partner contributes its core expertise, unique experience, and know-how, thus adding value to the development, financing, engineering, and realization process. Islands are attractive and appealing places to live, yet the high costs for water, electricity, and fuel can make our costs of doing business very expensive. On the other hand, most islands have an abundance of untapped natural resources like solar, wind, some geothermal, biomass, and the ocean. In the Caribbean, cooling, comfort, and climate quality in large buildings such as hotels, hospitals, office buildings, industrial facilities, and shopping malls is of great importance. When we identify an energy source used for district cooling, we don't look at the usual energy providers. Instead, we go for a swim in the ocean. By using local natural cooling, from the cold bottom water of lakes, groundwater, rivers, the ocean, or conversion of waste heat, we create a sustainable cooling technique. This technique is called district cooling. It is up to 10 times more cost and energy efficient than traditional cooling technology. For islands in the Caribbean, cold seawater from the depths of the ocean can be used for district cooling. The cold water originates from the North Pole. At the North Pole, the melting water sinks to the bottom of the ocean where it enters the currents that run from the North Pole through the Caribbean. For the cold water to reach the Caribbean, it takes approximately 400 years, which means that this water is very old. The cooling of buildings by using district cooling is one of the most reliable and stable systems when compared to the conventional air conditioning systems, and is being used in various ways all around the world. Like in Finland, where Google uses seawater-based district cooling to cool their data center 24 hours a day. Or at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, where the entire campus has been cooled by lakewater district cooling for the last 15 years, a system twice as large as the one planned for Curaçao. Cities like Stockholm, Helsinki, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Paris, Vienna, Toronto, Barcelona, Munich, Doha, and Hong Kong are also using this district cooling, mostly based on the use of seawater to cool their buildings. Even the island of Bora Bora has installed a system for their tourist industry. In Europe, about 40% of commercial and institutional buildings have some kind of cooling. In the US and Japan, it's no less than 80%. In the Caribbean, this number is similar. In the Caribbean, roughly more than 60% of the total energy is used for cooling. Finding ways to improve the efficiency of cooling must be a priority in the Caribbean in order to reduce our dependency on fossil fuels and our emissions. Imagine the impact district cooling can have. As a bonus, this system also reduces the need for dangerous refrigerants and support the phasing down of these refrigerants in line with the Montreal Protocol and the Kigali Amendment, as the conventional air conditioning systems will become obsolete. At Nelha, Hawaii, deep seawater pipelines have been installed since 1974. So they have more than 40 years of experience with this system. And all those years, that system has supplied the cold water used for achieving a flourishing deep seawater industry. Other locations where similar deep seawater pipelines are used are Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and India. The goal of the Zakito District Cooling Project is to connect all the suitable, centralized cooled buildings between Renaissance and Hilton, including the hospital, and in the future, perhaps the Sambil Mall, the airport and data center, to a district cooling system, and thus provide all the customers with a sustainable, reliable, and cheaper means for cooling their buildings. As the cold water from the North Pole reaches the Caribbean, the Zakito District Cooling System pumps the water through a pipeline with a length of approximately 6 kilometers from a depth of approximately 850 meters to the pumping station onshore. At the pumping station, the cold of the seawater is passed to the distribution system via a heat exchanger. After passing its cold to the distribution system, the seawater is returned to the ocean at approximately 50 meters depth. The depth at which the water is returned has been studied by many international marine biologists to ensure that it is environmentally safe. The water that has received the cold of the seawater is pumped through the distribution network to the clients. The distribution pipelines will be constructed underground. An alternative is to have parts of the pipeline run above ground in so-called flower boxes with plants and flowers. You could even plant tulips and roses if you like. The temperature of the pipelines is so low that in contact with the humid and warmer outside, it produces enough condensation to irrigate these plants. In other words, if desired, this system could be used to revamp the street view by making it possible to plant exotic flowers with free irrigation along the distribution route, creating a new street view for everyone to enjoy. In close collaboration with all the utility companies and other stakeholders on the island, a suitable route is sought to ensure that it does not interfere with existing utility infrastructure. It is also a possibility to share the trenches made for the district cooling system with the utility companies for the expansion or upgrading of their own network, thus creating cost-effective synergies. At each customer, the cold of the water in the distribution network is transferred via a heat exchanger to the internal system of the customer's building. In general, if the customers have a water-chilled centralized cooling system, their internal system doesn't need to be adapted and can remain the same. The difference between district cooling by using deep seawater versus conventional air conditioning is that district cooling uses water that is chilled by Mother Nature, while conventional systems use expensive electricity to chill water for the cooling of buildings. More than half the capacity has already been committed to the project. Design activities and other development activities are ongoing. Several financial institutions have expressed a firm commitment to jointly, with the consortium, contribute the financing for the investment needed. The project will be built in phases, starting with the west side, which includes WTC, Hilton, Marriott, and Piscadero residents. The second phase will be the expansion to the east side to provide possible clients like the new hospital, Holiday Inn, and Renaissance with cooling. In a more distant future, Sambil and even the Curaçao airport could be supplied with sustainable cooling. This system will provide the island with the world's most energy-efficient cooling, supporting the promotion of green tourism in Curaçao, backed up by an eco-friendly hotel industry. For the hospital, the system brings the opportunity to improve comfort and internal climate at much lower and stable costs than conventional cooling, thus reducing the cost of general health care. The expected annual savings is approximately 1 million guilders. Imagine, this amount could be spent in further improving the general health care. With an investment of approximately $50 million for the full-scale system, Zakito District Cooling will contribute to the economic development of Curaçao. Furthermore, it will significantly reduce annual CO2 output, comparable with the emissions of 2,500 cars. It reduces Curaçao's dependency on fossil fuels with more than 40,000 barrels of oil a year, thus reducing foreign expenditures by approximately $2 million annually. It will also save approximately $1.5 million annually in the cross subsidies currently given to select commercial consumers compared to the average businesses and residences. It supports an optimal electricity production and distribution. Another benefit of the Zakito District Cooling installation is the opportunity to use the returned seawater for a deep seawater industry, a possible new economic pillar for Curaçao. Activities that are envisioned to be developed there are agriculture, greenhouses, which can produce a large part of vegetables needed for Curaçao, aquaculture, shrimp farming, lobster storage, etc., microalgae farms for the pharmaceutical industry, and deep seawater desalination and R&D facilities like ocean thermal energy conversion. In Hawaii, where this industry is already in operation for more than 40 years, the estimated direct and indirect annual contribution to the island's economy is approximately $90 million, and it has generated approximately 600 jobs, thus contributing to the sustainable economic development of the island. It is the intent to set up a Curaçao deep seawater industry platform consisting of public and private organizations, including universities, to analyze and determine the possibilities and value of deep seawater for Curaçao and work out an implementation plan for the subsequent deep seawater industry. Beside its benefits for the island, the system also has very attractive benefits for its customers. It gives the customer the opportunity for sustainable extreme luxury. It can reduce and stabilize the customer's total cost for cooling because the price for cooling with the district cooling system can be fixed. The system is reliable 24/7, hurricane and tsunami resistant, and is very flexible. And the demand for cooling can be easily increased or decreased depending on the need. It eases operations and maintenance while increasing energy efficiency. It is a healthier and environmentally safer system, eliminating risks of Legionella, reducing the use of harmful refrigerants and other chemicals. It increases the asset value of the properties by 10 to 15% and enhances the opportunity for corporate branding by improving the ratings for LEED certified companies. The government is committed and supports the development of sustainable solutions, so now is the time to build a district cooling system on Curaçao. It is very important to start reducing the dependency on foreign goods because the prices for energy, gas, food, and other consumer goods will only continue to rise. This is because of the increasing scarcity of resources like raw materials, energy, and food due to the ever-growing global demand, climate change, the economic crisis, and international conflicts. Not only does district cooling provide a cheaper, sustainable cooling source, it also contributes to the reduction of the dependency on foreign goods by the reduction of use of fossil fuels and the possibility to develop a deep seawater industry, which will give the opportunity to produce goods at competitive cost levels for local use but also for export. The Zakito district cooling system and the subsequent potential for a deep seawater industry can be seen as an insurance for our future energy and food supply, now and for generations to come.